from WBNE.
Howdy, yokes. Before we get started today, we wanted to let you know that this episode of Bacon and Eggs is brought to you by our patrons. We want to build this thing to be as big as it can be, and we want to make more podcasts for you, and we can't do it alone. If you enjoyed this episode and want more Bacon and Eggs, head over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/baconandeggs. This month, we are doing the same thing we did in December, where anybody who is a new or upgrading patron will get a free sticker in the mail. If you're still waiting on your one from December, you will also get that. I've commissioned them today. They are awesome. I'm very excited about it, and I'm so sorry it took this long. But if you do that this month, I promise it will not take that long next time. I'm not a terrible human being. Anyway, you should check out all of our tiers. We've got everything set up the way that we like it right now. And with the most popular tier by far is our $5 tier, which is you get access to the Hash Browns, which is our show after the show. It's like a 20 to 30 minutes of Ethan and I jawing about something, or doing an AMA, or like rolling D&D characters, or doing all sorts of stuff. And that's a super duper lots of fun. And it also gets you access to our Discord server, where there are over 100 patrons of WBNE shows that you get to interact with. And I would only recommend doing that if you want to make new and awesome friends, because that's where you'll find them. But if you're already at one of those levels, check out our $10 tier, which gets you access to unedited episodes of Bacon and Eggs. So you get them usually 1 to 2 days early. Like this week, you'll get it 2 days early, I think, as long as Ethan uploads it. I don't know what he's going to do. I am not in charge of him. I am not his boss. I am his business partner. So if he does that, great. If not, you'll get it tomorrow, and that'd be exciting. But tomorrow is yesterday. Anyway, you can hear all the behind the scenes moments that are going to make it an episode, and all the awkward silences. And then like after this, you get to hear that like, okay, you ready? Yeah, okay, cool. And then, like, we start the show. Anyway, we could really use your help to make the podcast the best it can possibly be. So, new and upgrading patrons in the month of February will get a sticker shipped directly from us. Ethan and I packaged those envelopes ourselves. Anyway, I have jawed at you long enough. Thank you for donating, and thank you even more for listening. Howdy, yokes, and welcome back to Bacon and Eggs. I'm Tyler Garland.
And I'm Ethan Chill.
And today we're movie stars.
Or maybe we're just stunt doubles.
So pick up a hitchhiking cult member
and prevent a famous murder.
Because today we're bringing you
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I tried to read the ellipses that's in the movie title.
Oh, there you go. You could read it like a passive-aggressive boomer. It'd be like, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
In Hollywood. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm Wolf Blitzer.
You know what I loved about the first scene of this movie before I get to the stats? Is when they're doing like the interview with Brad Pitt and oh my God, Leo and the TV show host. Like, the way that it's shot, there's obviously a camera there that's like impossible to exist.
Yeah.
Like they keep cutting back to this shot of just the reporter,
that's
but
not,
then they would cut.
Yeah, the shot
like the
that's
camera's
not
right. The camera's not actually sitting there. Oh man, I loved it. There was so much of that in this movie. They're like, I really appreciate like how many takes they must have done to get it exactly the way that they wanted to. But let me run down the stats. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is an Oscar nominee, which is why it came across our desk. It was directed by Quentin Tarantino. It was released July 26, 2019, just 193 days ago. Had a $90 million budget, which I feel like is a lot for an Oscar nominee.
They paid a lot of people to be in this movie, though.
They did. They certainly did. And
Brad Pitt, DiCaprio, Al Pacino, Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie in it for like no reason.
I mean, she was a main character.
She was in it. It made $309.9 million worldwide. It got an 85% critic rating and a 70%
it says
audience rating.
$389 million.
What did I say?
You said 309.
Oh, $389.9 million worldwide. 85% critic rating, 70% audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and an 83 on Metacritic. I feel like all three of those scores are lower than I would have thought, given the quality of...
No, the audience score makes sense.
No, yeah, I can understand. Okay, you're right. I can level with you there. I can totally understand walking into this movie, watching it, and being like, I hated everything about that.
I don't know what just happened.
And I did not like it.
Yeah.
But this movie has some really cool motifs, some really cool like art stuff. I feel like this is one that you could do like an entire class on.
Oh, for sure. It's almost like it was made by one of the all-time expert filmmakers.
Yes. And this easily falls into the freshman dorm room poster club.
I guess. I disagree.
You don't think so?
No.
I feel like...
I think that you're giving... Because you took a film and philosophy class where you watched, like, The Fountain.
Yeah.
I think
am I giving college
freshmen too much credit.
Too much credit. Okay. That's Tarantino, though. I mean, Pulp Fiction makes that list.
Pulp Fiction has had a long time to be, like, almost memed.
Yeah.
Like, Pulp Fiction has been, like, nickelbacked to a certain extent.
Oh, yeah. If you tell me your favorite movie is Pulp Fiction.
Right. It's like, I'm a film guy. I like Tarantino. And if you tell me your favorite movie is Pulp Fiction, I don't have anything to say to you.
And I like Pulp Fiction.
And I like Pulp Fiction.
I like all of them. I like Fight Club. And I have the same response,
I like
though.
Nickelback.
I've been known to.
Let me do a professional negative review real quick.
Okay, I don't have a positive one, so let me grab one.
I've got one from. I wrote down the. Hold on, I did not write down the guy's name, but I wrote down the
publication.
Publication.
Okay, I'll take that.
Oh no, I'm just go find the name real quick.
Oh, okay.
I think I wrote down the name and then backspaced it and put in the publication instead. There's a lot of words you have to type in on Rotten Tomatoes to get to this one.
I'm noticing that right now, where like Once Upon a Time in America with James Woods shows up all the way up through Once Upon a Time in.
That's true. Okay, where was this negative review? This is Damian Levy. Damian Levy. It's Levy. I'm not sure which. Who says, watching the movie is like listening to a friend explain a Wikipedia article that he's been obsessed with since he was 15.
That is the best review I've ever heard. This is the best review,
and it's so true. And like, I liked this movie, but it was so true. This was Quentin Tarantino being like, okay, this is what was on TV in 1969. This is what the commercials looked like. These were the famous people.
Yes. But it sets things up good. The movie, it has an arc you don't expect. And
for sure.
I mean, obviously the ending is, especially if you don't know anything about Hollywood history, like I know nothing about Hollywood history. I know about about like movies and the art behind them. I know very little about like...
Oh, when Roman
A-listers.
Polanski... Go ahead. Read your review and we'll talk about arcs that I did expect.
Okay, so I have Jake Wilson from The Age in Australia, which I have no idea who this is and I haven't read this review yet. But there seems little doubt that every detail of the tableau has been selected to give Tarantino pleasure, and we are being permitted to witness a private ritual of self-gratification on more than one... Self-gratification. Gosh.
Gratification is a great portmanteau of gratification and satisfaction.
That is actually the name of my bass-heavy, sort of like hipster pop band.
Gratification?
Yeah, it's like a sort of hipster pop funk thing that we're doing. I play keys, which, incidentally, there's only keys.
Okay.
On more than one level. Basically, all he's saying is like, this is somebody who's like, Tarantino, make exactly what you want to make. And Tarantino was like, I've been doing that, but okay.
Oh, no, Tarantino, this is what this movie was. Is Quentin Tarantino, a few years back, sat down in probably the premiere of the movie Hail Caesar and looked around and said, we can make movies. Hold on, we can make movies about Hollywood? No one told me. I'll be right back.
And then he made this.
Yeah.
Which on another level, Hail Caesar is phenomenal.
For sure. Hail Caesar makes less sense than this.
Yeah, this has
far and away.
So what the subversion in this is that you think it's about Leo, right?
Yeah.
But it's about Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Oh,
it's
for sure, yeah.
It's not about Leo at all. Like, there's no conflict that he runs into. He has that conversation
hold on, real
with
quick.
Pacino.
I know it's not the movie we're talking about. Don't look it up. Without Googling, what do you think the Rotten Tomatoes scores are for Hail Caesar?
64 and like 29.
You got the split pretty close, but it's 86-44.
Yeah, I definitely thought audiences would hate it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Even if when I watch it to this day, I'm like, do I hate this movie?
Right, exactly. Do I like this? Did I enjoy this?
Yeah, it's like I like it in ways that I can't describe because I don't know what happens.
Channing Tatum he loses some money, I think.
But no, literally. So on the topic of arcs that I definitely get where you're coming from in you not having any clue as to like what the pretense of this movie was.
No, I was completely lost. I knew the gnome Roman Polanski. I wasn't convinced that Margot Robbie was playing whoever she played.
Legitimately, yeah. As soon as Brad Pitt was like, or whichever one says it was like, that's Roman Polanski. I was like, oh, Charles Manson's gonna kill Sharon Tate. Okay, that's this movie.
Oh, is that who?
That's the guy. The guy that shows up randomly and like rings the doorbell and is like, oh, I thought this was so and so's place. That's supposed to be Charles Manson.
Okay, but he's not the hippie from the end.
No, he sent a bunch of other people to do his thing for him.
Okay,
his whole cult was the people that lived on the ranch.
Okay,
the Manson family.
Now,
So basically, they prevented the crime. In this movie, this is the spoilers. They prevented the crime that put Charles Manson in jail.
Do you think he's going to lose, too?
Yeah, I for sure did, because, like, Sharon Tate died. Like, she super died that night.
Yeah, and Brad Pitt was, like, high off his butt.
Yeah. Yeah, you
That is the
super
most... I'm not going to lie to you. Like, when I was watching this movie, I was watching it, and I knew people were like, oh my God, the last 15 minutes is just absolutely insane.
Well, it's a
like,
Tarantino movie.
Right. And I was like, okay, that's whatever. So I'm watching it, and I'm looking at the time as I'm watching it, and I'm like, man, it's got to happen. Like, I know they say the last 15 minutes, but they probably mean like, you know, the whole third act, the last 30 minutes. No. 15 minutes from end of runtime, this movie gets freaking bonkers.
Hard yeet to the left.
I you know what? I loved it.
Really? Because you called me earlier and you're like, I don't think I could ever watch this movie again.
I don't think I can. Yeah, no, I 100% don't think I can. I think this is definitely a one and done. I loved this whole experience from beginning to end, but I think watching it again, I'm not gonna enjoy it as much.
Interesting.
I mean, I think I would, but I have no desire to turn it on.
No, I feel that.
Also, I don't do well. We've talked about this on the show before, with that sort of like campy gore. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's not too bad until... Such a weird sentence. It's not too bad until Leo ignites a flamethrower on the girl in the pool.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
That is when it's like, okay. And like, I didn't get sick or anything, but that's when I'm like...
that was such a great scene of the girl like stumbling through the door, falling in the pool, and like Leo being like, what
is going on?
What is going on? He just walks casually into the pool hut and like grabs the flamethrower. I was like, this is exactly what this character would do. Like,
he grabs the flamethrower, but it's like a Han shot first thing. He doesn't point it at her until the gun is pointed at him.
Right.
So it's like the opposite of Han shot first. But
yeah, for sure. This movie is insane.
Oh my God.
Because it definitely, like, for most of it, I was like, where are we going with this?
Yeah, I thought maybe there was going to be more to the... Like I said, like the whole... Leo is the red herring through the whole thing. It's that it's like, okay, so it's this story about this actor who was a big deal, but now he's kind of got a...
Right, and like the first 2.5 acts take place over one day. And then it's like 6 months later.
Yeah. Yeah. And it just,
it's insane for sure. I mean, it's Tarantino. At the end of Inglourious Bastards, they murder Hitler and like the entire like Nazi command team in a movie theater.
Yes.
And that didn't happen at all. Like that super isn't how that went down.
Yes.
Oh my God. When they pull up the list of when they were doing the whole montage of which movies DiCaprio was in while he was in Italy, and one of them was directed by Antonio Margheriti, which is he's one of the guys in Inglourious Bastards pretending to be Italian.
Oh, that's such a funny callback.
Margheriti!
Yes.
I had to like pause the movie to fall out of my chair and laugh for 10 minutes.
That is good. That is some really good stuff. Also, there's other Tarantino cameos in here. Like Sam Jackson is an extra in the Western.
Is he?
Yeah, he's sitting at a table playing poker.
I missed that. I was like, he's got to be in here somewhere.
Yeah. I thought Uma Thurman would be in it somewhere, but I didn't catch her.
I don't think she does much anymore.
I think she does whatever Uma Thurman wants.
I mean, it's entirely possible, but I can't think of anything that I've seen her in recently.
She was in Garfield 2. No, I'm kidding.
Was she?
Bill Murray and Uma Thurman, don't you know?
Known for Kill Bill Volume 1, Kill Bill Volume 2, Pulp Fiction, and Batman and Robin.
Oh, she was Poison Ivy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my first crush.
So the most recent of her known fors was 2004. So
she's been pretty active. She's been in some bad stuff. She was in her most recent film was The House That Jack Built, which got a 58% on Rotten Tomatoes.
She played Lady Number 1.
And she played Lady Number 1. It looks like she just does whatever she wants.
It looks like she took several years off.
I don't see that.
Between 2015 and 2018, there are 0 credits.
She produced a film called Girl Soldier, and that's it. Yeah, which doesn't have a score, so I don't know if it was good or not.
She was fake Lois Lane in the movie 43.
Movie 43 is the bane of my existence. I've seen it, and basically all it is, if you're unfamiliar, is our good friend, oh my gosh, what is his name? So what are you doing right now?
Seth MacFarlane.
No, not Seth MacFarlane. Dennis Quaid is like pitching sketches.
Is it not a Seth MacFarlane movie?
I don't know. Dennis Quaid is pitching sketches, and then they, like, all these big name actors act out the sketches, and they're all horrible.
I'm thinking of 1,000 Ways to Die in the West.
Oh, that looked like fun.
It was not. It was a Seth MacFarlane movie.
I like Seth MacFarlane. I
You
like
do?
Family Guy. Yeah.
Really? You like Family Guy?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I mean, I haven't watched Family Guy probably since maybe freshman year of college, but I've seen clips here and there. I like Seth MacFarlane. I like
It's crude. It's just crude.
I like the Robot Chicken stuff. I thought that was funny. Not Robot Chicken. Not like the Robot Chicken show. I like the Star Wars Robot Chicken stuff. Yeah. I like Ted. Ted is good.
Also crude and gross.
Yeah, I would agree. Crude and gross.
He's a great impressionist, but not my cup of tea. Anyway, 1,000 Ways to Die in the West is a bad movie.
No, I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
It's the same sort of like, it's just a bunch of like sketches tied into a movie.
Oh, I hate that. It's like movie 43.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say about this movie. I have no, it's also, I'll be, to break the fourth wall a little bit, audience, it has been a long time since I saw this movie.
Yeah, usually we are coming off of like just seeing the film like the day prior or even the day of. I think it has been 2 weeks for each of us.
Yeah, it was, so we haven't recorded since the 14th, and we were going to record 2 days before I left, and I think I saw the movie the day prior to that, and then we didn't end up recording. And
yeah,
then
we
now
had
we're here.
A thing come up.
We had a thing come up, and now we're here, and it's been a long time since I saw the movie. And the problem is, normally that wouldn't be that big of an issue, but I spent like 25 hours on a plane watching great movies.
So is that all you did on the plane was watch film?
Yeah, pretty much. And slept.
Huh. A podcast. No, there's an episode of Bacon and Eggs came out last week. I don't know if you, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't listen to it.
Hey, check that out.
Yeah, I'm not even going to let you make me feel bad about that because you haven't listened to a single one.
I listened to Last Jedi.
Okay, that was 2 and some change years ago. You were gone for like 6 weeks and I did 6 without you and you haven't listened to a single one of them. So.
I do know. Okay, so obviously, like, whatever. The reason that you weren't here on the show last week is because you didn't have time to be, so I wouldn't have expected you to have time to listen to it. Or not that you didn't have time because you were in, India. So it's what I'm not upset even a little bit. But I will say that when I was on maternity leave, I didn't listen to like any podcasts, but I did turn on a few episodes of Bacon and Eggs and listen to like the first 20 minutes.
But no, really the problem was, Spotify is great for podcasting, sort of. It's not as great as Overcast. And it's really bad for podcasts while you're on a plane because you can't, search them. So even if you have stuff downloaded, there's no like library.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that so? I mean, I'm sure it is.
I couldn't figure it out. And so it gave me like, these are the podcasts you have downloaded. And it gave me like 6 of them, like a random 6 out of all the episodes I downloaded of things. And so I listened to those and I was like, oh, I'm going to go listen to the other episodes of stuff. And it was not possible.
They just weren't there.
I mean, they're there on my phone. And like when I search them, it says they're downloaded, but I couldn't, the search feature doesn't work. So I had no podcasts to listen to. So I watched a bunch of movies instead.
Well, I hope you enjoyed them.
I did. Saw a bunch of great films. Several that were probably better than this one.
Are you caught up on the Oscars?
No,
Oscars.
Not even close. There's still so many movies that were nominated for Best Picture that I have not seen.
Does that make you feel weird?
No, it's just like some of them aren't really, like I couldn't go see 1917 because it's in theaters.
Right, so you couldn't just like bring a movie theater on the plane to
right,
Dubai.
And the problem was that like Jojo Rabbit is available for streaming as of midnight, today. Like it's available today.
Right.
And so by the time I was able to get it, I was already on the last flight, so I didn't watch that.
This is unrelated to everything that we've been talking about. When we played FIFA in college, what was the name of your creative player? Not the one we had, like Ethan's creative player.
David Nash.
David Nash.
I actually specifically created that name for FIFA.
Really?
Yeah, because it was a name, it was a first and last name that the commentators could say.
That's awesome. I'm so proud of you.
And that is a last name that is available in every professional sports game.
Nash.
So that is my create a player name and has been ever since then.
Passes it to the striker. Nash.
And I've altered the first name a little bit sometimes, especially if I do like more than one campaign.
Did you buy any sports games this year? I have such sad news about video games.
I bought Madden. Madden was really good this year. And I bought 2K.
I would love to get back into FIFA.
I haven't bought FIFA in a while.
I haven't either. I haven't bought Madden. Well, that's not true. I bought Madden 19, I think. Whatever.
Madden 20 was really good.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it's awesome.
Like significant. You can run the ball, Tyler.
Hey, I know.
Successfully.
I know about a fake halfback pitch flip.
No, but
play.
like you can just like, it can be just part of your offense. Like it
right.
can be.
You don't have to cheat the game.
Right, like you could just run the ball. Like, it is feasible.
That's amazing. Not something I ever thought would be
They've cracked their own code.
They made it so hard. I think it's because for so long in that game, defense was just so bad that they figured out like how to like stop the run.
Right, I remember playing like NCAA football and with like a halfback and running for like 10,000 yards.
Right, in like 12 games. What was I saying? Oh, I turned on my Xbox for the first time in months the other day to cancel my Xbox Live subscription.
Nice.
Because I turned it on for the first time in months. But when I did that, I logged in and it was like, do you want to play Borderlands 3? And I was like, how dare you?
I never finished it.
I have not finished it either, but how dare it? Just, I'm at the point, honestly, where because I am so on the go and I'm so rarely on my couch that if it's not the Switch, it's hard for me to commit to like sitting down and playing anything.
See, that's why I've been so on sports games for so long. Is it like I can play a video game for 15 minutes and accomplish something?
Right. You can play the next game in your story mode and then do the training
Shut the
center
thing off
and then turn it off.
Leave.
Yeah. That's what I love about sports games. I also just love sport in general.
The big game was last weekend, and I missed it for the first time in my life.
So you didn't see any of it?
I didn't see a thing. I turned my phone on because it started 5 a.m. my time.
Okay.
So I woke up like in the fourth quarter, 7 something, 8, maybe 8 something, and turned my phone on and looked at the score, and I was like, oh, the 49ers are up by 7. Cool. Chiefs win. Got it.
49ers up by 7 told you Chiefs win?
Yeah. Bro, there's no way. There was no way.
Yeah, no, he's so good.
Yeah. Truly the next great like Hall of Famer.
I was watching thanks for coming to our podcast about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This is Sports Talk Radio with Tyler and Ethan. I was watching Drew Brees talk about it on Pat McAfee because he didn't make the NFL 100 team.
Yeah.
And he was like, I mean, I have these records and I don't really feel bad about it. I think it would have been cool to get it, but I don't really feel bad about it, especially when you look at players like he was talking about, I really am interested in the next 100, and you look at somebody like Patrick Mahomes, like Lamar Jackson, and you see the game is changing. There isn't a space for the Tom Brady's, the Drew Brees, the Peyton Manning.
Oh yeah, no, they're gone. It's over.
Well, Tom's still there, but is
he? Because he lost in the first round.
No, I know, but I
don't know if Tom's still there. Is really your best bet.
Well, his Hulu Has Live sports commercial was that his reveal in that is that he's not leaving New England.
Okay, good for him. He can make another 12-win season and miss the playoffs. Great.
He made the playoffs. He just lost the first round.
He lost the first rounds of Ryan Tannehill. You might as well have missed the playoffs.
Oh man.
But no, Mahomes is crazy, dude. He can throw an actual no-look pass.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, he's a cheat code. He's insane.
Yeah, like you look at every other quarterback and it's like, oh yeah, they're throwing no-looks or whatever. And every other quarterback is just like, no, Mahomes can do it. Like he's real.
Right. He is the best.
Right. And it's like, they play up the drama so much on TV, and these dudes are actually texting each other just like, yo, that was sick, bro.
That was amazing.
I think basketball does a much better job of it than football, showing that like professional players actually respect each other.
Oh, basketball does a very good job of that.
Yeah.
Some other sports news that happened when you died, or not when you died. Oh
when God. I died. Yeah, I heard about Kobe Bryant. That was big sad.
That's a big sad.
It makes me question like it seems like somebody like a celebrity dies, it seems like once a year in a helicopter accident.
Is that so?
Like, stop riding in helicopters. It is not worth it. Helicopters are so dangerous.
They are.
Helicopter accidents happen all the time.
I did not know this.
It's like the dude from freaking Montgomery Gentry died in a helicopter accident.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it's just like, it happens like enough that my brain is like, I shouldn't ride in helicopters.
Well, yeah, I'm sure the industry took a hit last week or whenever.
Definitely. That was a bad one. That was like 9 people.
Yeah, it's not good.
And it's
not
like,
good at all.
This is my thing, is like they were late for like rec league travel basketball game. So they took Kobe Bryant's helicopter and all of them died.
Well,
it's just not worth it.
So Kobe Bryant took a helicopter everywhere. That wasn't like, yeah, that was the thing. He's always done that. He apparently didn't like the traffic in LA.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, is like, I feel like it's one of those things where you play the system long enough, the system bites back.
Yeah.
It's like Kobe Bryant takes a helicopter everywhere. Kobe Bryant was going to die in a helicopter accident.
Well, they even said, at least I don't know if this is true, but Kobe Bryant and his wife like wouldn't fly together in the event that it crashed.
Then it's not worth it. This is like, that is insanity.
It is insanity. Yes, I would 100% concur.
But even before this happened, on my flight over to India, which is like the longest flight I've ever taken until I flew back from India, which is longer because of wind.
The curvature of the earth.
It takes longer to go east to west than it does west to east. The jet stream, the Gulf Stream or whatever.
I don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea. But I was thinking on my 12.5-hour flight over to India, I was like, they always talk about, planes are the safest thing, like whatever, like nobody dies in plane crash or whatever. But like the more you fly, you're still upping that odd.
Yeah, but you drive to work every day. Oh, you don't drive to work every day. But I drive to work every day. I don't get in the car every day like, oh, today's the day.
I know for sure, but it definitely started. It is like when I first started flying places, I was like, no chance I'll ever die in a plane crash.
I just don't do it enough.
But now it's like I've flown pretty frequently in the last year just for various reasons where I'm like, I'm starting to up these numbers a little bit more than I'm comfortable with.
Well, and
then literally 2 days later, like a prominent celebrity dies in an aircraft accident, and I was sitting there like, oh God.
Oh gosh. Well, on the bright side, though, it doesn't really up your chances every time. It resets 1 in a million every time you get on an airplane. It's like flipping a coin.
There's like 328 million people in America, so like 1 in a million. I'm not comfortable with 1 in a million.
1 in a gazillion odds. Okay.
Like they always say, like, oh, you're 1 in a million. It's like that means there's 328 of me in America.
Just here.
Like,
would you rather be 1 in a billion? Then there's like only 7 of you on Earth.
That's what they mean by the compliment, though. Like, is that you are somebody that is super special, like irreplaceable. But if there's 328 of me banging around the States, like, no, I'm not irreplaceable. You can just go find another one. They got him at Kroger. Like,
they don't have them at Kroger at that point. There's only like 6 point something per state. Probably heavy concentration of yous in New York and California.
Yeah, places with huge populations. Yeah,
maybe only 1 or 2 Ethans in Montana.
The Electoral College as represented by Ethans, by clones of me.
They're all over the country.
They're spread out.
Spread those breadcrumbs. My question is, if we put 328 clones of Ethan on a boat and we sent him through Ellis Island and the immigration system was better than it is, and he just like immigrated to the U.S., and we checked back 20 years later, how many would still be in New York?
Here's the real question is how many would have their name spelled right?
The assumption is that they all get their name spelled differently.
Well, that's the thing is I believe that my last name is the result of like an Ellis Island mix-up.
Oh, I'm sure it was some employee that was like the first guy wrote it down correctly.
He doesn't need a second E. and then everyone has spelled my name wrong forever.
Yes. It's so funny. When we were in college, there was a neighborhood called like Edge Hill Estates, and it was all one word, but it was EDGEHILL or something like that. I don't know what
I get like Snapchats and pictures of people all the time that are like, oh, I'm passing a subdivision named after you. All of the time. It's like there's one in every town in America.
An Edge Hill Suites.
Something like that, man. An apartment complex, a subdivision, a street.
A subway, like an underground.
Like a subway station.
How expensive would it be for us to buy a station on the underground?
On the London Underground?
Just like the naming rights.
A lot, I would imagine.
I would give them $250.
It's gonna be more than that.
That's because it's not for advertising. It's just...
It doesn't matter. Like, that's one of those things where, like, it has to be more than that or everyone would do it. And then you'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to McKington Station. Like...
Oh. So, you've been watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Can you tell me what the murals mean?
No.
Or is that like...
I don't even remember what you're talking about.
That's advanced art is what that is.
I don't remember what you're talking about. Straight up, I have no idea.
Basically, like anywhere they park the car, there's like a giant mural right outside the car.
Oh. I didn't think I noticed that.
Oh, they're like... In some places, it's like, oh, that's a mural on a building. And in other places, it's like, that's a giant canvas in his driveway for no reason.
Yeah, but that would totally be a Rick Dalton thing.
Yeah, Rick Dalton absolutely has giant canvases of himself in his driveway.
Yeah, that dude is just the over-the-top star.
Yes.
No, I have no idea what the murals mean.
What I love more than anything about this film is all of the mini films they had to film to make this film a film.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure. The, like, random episodes of Rick's TV show and, like...
The 14 Fists of McCluskey.
Yeah. Stuff that people had been in.
Yeah. They set it up really well to like show you how much of a badass Brad Pitt is when he throws Bruce Lee into a car and like breaks the car.
Yeah, breaks the car from the Green Hornet.
Is that what that was?
Yeah. And whoever they got to play Bruce Lee is just nailed that one.
Oh yeah. My hands
are registered as lethal weapons. I think that lethal weapon thing is just coerced.
If you kill
Everybody
somebody,
who accidentally kills somebody in a fight goes to jail.
it's called
manslaughter.
Oh man.
Oh, Brad Pitt was so good.
Yeah.
So good. Such a good actor. Man, I watched freaking Ad Astra, the Brad Pitt space movie from last year that everybody raves about. It's garbage. It's just like, it's a non-story. Like, it does not... It's all this buildup, and then you get to the thing that's supposed to be the thing, and I'm like, what?
Did you watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Because that was sort of
No. This had a story. This made sense. This logically concluded. Ad Astra was like, Ad Astra is the result of somebody. It's a game of telephone for somebody that didn't particularly like Interstellar.
I had a feeling it would be very Interstellar-esque. Is there as many rectangle-shaped robots?
No. There are no funny droids in that movie.
See, every space movie needs funny droids. Name a good space movie without a funny droid. I bet you can't.
Yeah, no, Ad Astra was weird. I mean, it was like very pretty. It was well scored, well mixed, well edited, but it just like, and well acted. I mean, Brad Pitt did a good job. It was just a bad script. I also watched Ford versus Ferrari, which is very good.
I don't think anybody can sit me down and be like, hey, Matt Damon and Christian Bale are in a movie together about one of your favorite stories in the history of something you're interested in. And me be like, oh, I think that's going to suck.
You know, it was phenomenal.
I've always thought the Ford and Ferrari story was interesting.
It was like very hard. It's very hard to be like, oh yeah, this movie full of entirely men that absolutely does not pass the Bechdel test and is about car racing is better than Little Women. But like, it's a very close race there.
Well, who wins, Ford or Ferrari? That's the question.
You're just gonna have to see it.
Well, I know who wins. That's the story.
Yeah, but it was
Ferrari's not the underdog here.
I mean, seriously, it was like the first plane I was on yesterday. I started watching that movie, and like I landed with 15 minutes left.
Oh my gosh.
And like I had to get up and get off the plane. And I'm sitting there like, what is gonna happen in this movie? Like I know what happens, but I need them to tell me.
I need to see it.
But the reason I brought that up is because everything that cinematographer learned about cinematography, he learned from Interstellar. Like there was equally as many like shots, side of car shots,
exactly the
like
shot.
A GoPro. The whole time, except it's a car, so you can see like in the window better. But it's the same shot as Interstellar.
But there's noise.
Yeah, there's.
Oh, my. It throws me off so bad in Interstellar every time I watch that movie.
When it's just, it cuts to nothing but score.
Yeah.
Just like that ridiculous Hans Zimmer score for it.
Oh, it's such a good movie.
But
such
yeah.
a good score.
Oh, it's a phenomenal score. But yeah, it's the same shot of like the GoPro through the driver's side window.
That's so funny. I need to see that film. There's so many movies that I need to watch.
Yes.
Did you like India? Should we save our conversations about India for the hash browns?
Should we?
I feel like we should. I feel like that would be an interesting story.
We can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I used the plane to see a lot of good movies. I saw Midsummer.
You saw Midsummer?
I did see Midsummer.
Was it awesome?
It was crazy. It's like it's just as nuts as this movie, but like kind of scary.
You didn't get scared for even just a moment watching this?
No.
Yeah, frustrated me towards the end of this bad boy is the hips. I get why, because the hippies were like actually cowards, but they didn't just pull the trigger or knife the people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but that's the thing. That's the Tarantino false history. Is like they couldn't just do that because otherwise then it just would have been like a really weird Charles Manson biopic that like included Charles Manson for 1 minute.
And the neighbors who don't actually exist.
Right. Yeah. The fake neighbors. I thought you were trying to tell me Roman Polanski doesn't exist. And I was like, definitely does.
I know Roman Polanski exists. I don't know who Roman Polanski is.
He's a director.
Okay, is he good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also, I believe, barred from ever entering the United States again.
Is he alive?
Yeah, I think so.
Why would he be barred from the United States? Go on.
Yeah, he did some things.
I mean, truthfully, I don't know anything.
I don't remember exactly what his crimes were, but he committed some crimes and then fled the country.
So this film references a lot of real films from this era. When you were watching this as somebody who's sort of a classic film buff, was that like, oh my gosh, this is awesome? Or were you like, oh, you're really not doing this justice? Or what was sort of your reaction there?
No, I thought everything in this movie, to what I know about Hollywood at this time, it was done absolute justice.
Well, it can't be like proper justice. I mean, it was Tarantino.
Yeah.
You can't
I think it was all handled well.
Yeah. So what is Brad Pitt's role? Because he's obviously not the stunt double anymore, and he killed his wife in what was an excellent scene.
Excellent scene. With like the crossbow, right?
It's a harpoon.
Harpoon, yeah.
Yeah.
He's the stunt double though.
But he's not the stunt double. He never gets gigs. He just shows up with...
Well, yeah, DiCaprio pays him to be his...
sort of like bodyguard and driver.
Driver, friend, you know? He's part of the entourage.
Yeah. What is the guy's name from Entourage? Turtle?
Yeah, sure. I've never watched Entourage.
Oh, man. Mandy Moore?
I know that I know little, even after seeing the Entourage movie, I know little enough about Entourage that I still don't know whether or not I'm supposed to be offended about the time that somebody told me that I reminded them of Ari Gold.
I don't think you want to be Ari Gold.
I don't think so either, but I don't know because I haven't seen any of it.
Well, I've only seen probably half of the first season, so I don't really know what I'm talking about. But
yeah, I don't know anybody's name except Ari Gold.
I think the chubbier Entourage member's name is Turtle. There's also a character in Entourage who plays, I think, the brother, and like he plays this like nobody actor, and as a result of playing that role so well, he is like this nobody actor that like nobody will hire.
Right. It happens. It happens. But yeah, so Brad Pitt is like he's the guy. He's just his guy. And then DiCaprio can't afford to pay him anymore after that because he married an Italian woman and didn't make any money doing those Italian movies.
That sucks.
Doing the spaghetti westerns.
He didn't not make any money. He revitalized his career. Who's he supposed to be?
I don't know exactly. He's a little. I mean, I guess he obviously goes over to Italy and stars in like a dozen of these westerns. So he's sort of Clint Eastwood.
I felt like that's who he was supposed to be.
He's sort of Clint Eastwood, but I don't know that Clint Eastwood was on TV. But I might be wrong about that. I don't know a whole lot about Clint Eastwood prior to like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
I don't know anything about westerns. You know what I do want though? I was thinking about ever since I watched this movie. Rick Dalton reads those like page turner serial novels that were so popular in the era.
Clint Eastwood is an American actor, filmmaker, musician, and politician. Musician? Neat? Don't know about all that. After achieving success in the Western TV series Rawhide, he rose to international fame with his role as the man with no name in Italian filmmaker Sergio Leone's Dollars trilogy. So yeah, he's Clint Eastwood.
Okay.
He's 100p Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, that's his job.
Yeah, that's who he is supposed to be.
What was I just saying?
I don't know. I interrupted you, and that's my fault. But I did find out that he is supposed to be Clint Eastwood. But he's Rick Dalton.
Rick Dalton.
He was Caleb somebody on some TV show. A Western TV show.
Oh, I was saying, you know how he's always reading these serial novels? Or I guess there's the one scene where he's reading it, and he gets like all choked up about it because it ends up being like such a reflection of his life.
Yeah.
What happened to that genre? The mass market paperback serial novel that you can like knock out in an afternoon. Does that still exist and I just don't know where to find it?
I'm sure it does.
Or are they just like, there's so many...
I would argue that like that's what, I guess they're not mass market anymore. I think we just kind of, maybe they are. I think we just kind of respect authors more these days.
Yeah, that might be it.
But like, I would say that like, that's what James Patterson does. He puts out a book like every 6 months about Alex Cross, the cop.
That's true. But they're not like... I feel like you can't knock out those. Every time I look at one of those books, and maybe I'm just mistaken, they appear to be like very long.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they just wrote. There was a lot of like garbage books back then. Literally, that's what Pulp Fiction refers to.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, it was shirt books printed on shirt paper.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want
shirt
books on shirt paper.
I think we just stopped doing that. I think they made enough of them that made like dollars each. They were just like, this isn't worth it anymore. Nobody reads books.
That's true. People read books way more now than they used to.
But yeah, I think we reached a point probably in the 90s and early 2000s where people were like, books are stupid.
I don't think we did.
I think we did. I think everybody started reading the same books as everybody else.
So yeah, like what fascinates me about books is how few copies of a book are required to sell for it to be considered like successful.
But also I think those genres change because like there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of like fantasy books that no one reads made every year.
My question with those fantasy books that nobody reads is nobody reading them because having an author who can dream up this immense lore not that uncommon, but it's also like knowing this intense lore doesn't mean you write a good book about it.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, so it's not
world building and storytelling are not the same thing, and you have the occasional ones that can get them both right.
Right.
Like
so it's not
Tolkien and Martin and these guys.
JK.
Good old JK.
Well, I don't know if we call her good anymore.
I'm just quoting Doctor Who.
Quoting 10. I just feel like, because I would love to be able to walk, I think you're exactly right with the fantasy thing. I would love to be able to walk into the fantasy section of Barnes & Noble and be like, I'm going to read this book. But my fear, and this is what happened, are you familiar with the Nick Cannon sort of Pulp Fiction series? Not Nick Cannon, the actor.
No.
Or maybe it's Nick Carter, maybe it's Aaron Carter. It's the name of some pop
Maybe
star.
it's Aaron Carter.
It was the name of some pop star, but prior to that, it was like this Pulp Fiction character. I read one of those books on the like beach at the lake one summer because we have like just a ton of them on this bookshelf at the lake house in Vermont. And I pick up the book and I read it. And my issue with it was that like, I found it pretty easy to turn the page. It kept me engaged. All books like this have deep, not deep like profound, deep like raunchy, passionate romance scenes.
Yeah, that's the thing is like you can read. I mean, you can go and buy hundreds and hundreds of thousands of bad romance books.
Yes, romance is a genre that has this, and that's my problem.
Like when 50 Shades of Grey became popular, everybody was like, "This is not new.
Right.
This one just made it."
Oh yeah,
But like, here's my thing: is like, I think that we respect. Go ahead and continue what you're saying. I got a point to bring up in a minute.
Okay, all I was saying was like, I would love to be able to buy these books and sit down and read them, but I also feel like I don't care for these scenes. They add nothing to the story for me. And I'm very interested in like, you know, the secret agent goes and does this thing and it's accessible and it keeps you engaged and turning the page. But then there's always that awful passionate romance scene that makes it weird and uncomfortable to be reading like right next to your grandmother knitting. I don't know. It just feels weird.
So like, here's my thing is I think that more authors became known for their names. Like Robert Ludlum is the guy that wrote the Jason Bourne books.
Yes.
Okay. Now he wrote The Bourne Identity, and The Bourne Supremacy, and The Bourne Ultimatum, which got made into movies.
Yes.
He also wrote 57 other books.
That's a lot.
57 other books. To be fair, 16 of those are Jason Bourne books. But like you have, because I read one of these the time that I went with your family to the beach over the summer. I read like the Sigma Protocol or something.
Was it awesome?
Which was it was terrible. It was an adult spy novel that wasn't part of a series. Now, like, I like some of those. I specifically like the Dan Brown books, like the Da Vinci Code books, that whole series, I dig. But again, Dan Brown has like 20 other books I haven't read.
Okay.
That are just unrelated.
I don't know how to explain this to you. There are 263 Nick Carter books.
No, for sure. It still happens.
Like all about this same character. Then you know what? I couldn't even begin to tell you which one I read.
That's what I'm saying. It's like people are just writing a bunch of these books and like, but now they're named authors.
Yeah. Well, what was interesting about this is kind of like the Star Wars thing, where there are, at least on this list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different authors who all wrote about, 9 different authors who all wrote about the same character.
Right. And the Star Wars books are notoriously just like 85% garbage.
Yeah, I was very excited when they were made non-canon.
When they deleted the canon? Yeah, me too. Because I read probably 30 of them, and I don't remember a single word of any of them.
Yeah, I don't either. I would
go check out a random Star Wars book from my elementary school library.
But are those the page turners of yesteryear that I'm missing? Should I start reading those? I want mindless fiction.
I seriously think that sometime in the 90s we all started reading the same books.
Well, you think it came down to like good old JK?
Yeah, I really do. I mean, how many books do you read per year?
Less than 10.
Yeah, but I can say that's the thing is like I could confidently tell you like even with audiobooks, the books that I've listened to in the past 5 years have pretty much all been books that people recommended to me.
Yes.
And a lot of them I've read because like, oh, somebody's making a movie out of this.
Yes.
It's like, I think the world just got higher standards for books.
I think that's true as well. I think also young adult fiction just means that it's a page turner that doesn't have that uncomfortable romance scene.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, most of what is in the young adult fiction category at Barnes & Noble is not John Green books.
Although there's a lot of uncomfortable scenes in the Simon book, and
those are a lot of, that's the thing is like, I disagree with you about there's not uncomfortable sex scenes in young adult novels. I would argue that there are more uncomfortable sex scenes in young adult novels.
Is it because of the age of the characters? Because that throws me off.
It's because of the age of the characters, yeah.
It throws me off so bad. Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm a 26-year-old man who kind of likes reading young adult books, and then I get to one of those scenes and I'm like, I shouldn't be allowed to read this.
This is criminal.
Like, this is weird, yeah.
But don't ban
and
the
I get
books.
the like,
I don't suggest that.
The whole author thing is like write about sex because sex is a real thing that happens, and I'm just like, please don't. As a guy that just wants to read books about people,
right?
Please don't.
Right. You could do the same thing the movies do. And then they
I don't want to read. That's the thing is, I don't want to read about anybody having sex.
Right. You could leave it at, and they went upstairs. Chapter 7.
I think I read a book one time, a young adult novel that like basically just like faded out and was like, sex is great. And that was it. And I was like, thank you, book.
I remember I was in elementary school when somebody handed me a copy of, at that time, the most recent Harry Potter book, and like the last paragraph of the chapter. I think there is like a real chance that this person like printed this on like their own paper and placed it in the book. Was like an extremely detailed and uncomfortable scene between Harry and Ginny. And like every time I read the books, I'm like, okay, the end of the chapter, I wonder if this is where that person found that from. I have no idea what book it was in. I have no idea like what chapter it was.
J.K. Rowling managed to make all of that not awkward by inventing the word snogging.
I think that made it more awkward. I think it did. Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely nobody who knows how to handle young adults having sex worse than J.K. Rowling.
It just doesn't happen at Hogwarts.
Yeah, she was just like, nope, not happening.
Not at Hogwarts. The stairs will turn into a slide.
And that's fine, and I get it, because like the whole idea of like, because it's easy when you have like a young adult novel about a 17-year-old who started the book being 17 and ends the book being 17, than it is like when you start the series with a kid who is 11 and a child.
Yeah, like a proper kid.
But yeah, I definitely was reading Simon vs. the Homo sapiens agenda, and I was like, this is unnecessarily graphic. This can still be gay and important without this scene. This is a very long, weird tangent for our weirdly sexless Tarantino movie.
Yeah, there's no sex at all.
Yeah.
No nudity, no nothing.
There's a very great scene where Brad Pitt is like, yeah, you're not 18. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's a good scene.
Yeah, and he's just flat out like, nope.
I'm not going to jail for that. I've been avoided it my whole life.
After he killed his wife. You know who's my favorite character in this movie?
Whomst?
The little girl.
The little girl's like, oh, no, it's cool. I'm wearing pads.
The like child actor who just gets it.
Yes. Who's like
rips DiCaprio apart.
Do you think that's what he's like on set?
DiCaprio?
Yeah, what do you think he's like on set?
I think he's very strange. He's a very strange guy.
But he's super intense.
Yeah, I bet he's really method about it. I read a thing, like a freaking like Hustler article or something recently about a random girl that went home with Leonardo DiCaprio. Back it up.
You don't need sex in your books, but you read a Hustler article recently.
I mean, it's just like a Facebook thing. It was like a clickbait article that was like, I had sex with Leonardo DiCaprio, and it was weird. And apparently he just like wore his AirPods the whole time
on set.
No, while he was having sex with this woman.
Oh, well, sometimes you gotta listen to some tunes. The new Taylor Swift album.
Just what? Yeah, that's my thing. Is I can only imagine what he was listening to that he didn't feel comfortable putting on the speakers. It's gotta be like the Joe Rogan Experience or something.
Leonardo DiCaprio listens to Joe Rogan.
It can't be
while
Taylor
getting
Swift.
Intimate.
Like, there's no way.
Prophet said you'd never find another like me.
But no, I think that he's very strange and weird on set. I think Brad Pitt is very the opposite.
You think Brad Pitt is as casual can be?
I think Brad Pitt probably just slides into character.
I don't know. He's got some more range than I think people give him credit for.
No, I'm not saying he doesn't have range, but I can see him like snapping out of Tyler Durden immediately.
Oh, I don't know. That's a set I don't know if I could be on. I feel like when they shoot the Ocean's movies, they're like, all right, guys, just
Well, Brad Pitt is not playing a character in the Ocean's movies.
No, he's playing Brad Pitt, friend of George Clooney.
Yeah.
You think we need
He barely talks. Most of his acting in that movie is done through sunglasses by nodding. Like,
whatever you do, under any circumstances, do not. Rusty, yeah, come here.
It's him and Clooney finishing each other's sentences.
God, speaking of Clooney, I'm glad we got on this topic. I've been thinking about this movie this whole time. You know what movie is so good?
Hail Caesar.
Oh, what a missed opportunity early in this show for me to talk about this movie. Up in the Air. We were talking about planes. We were talking about Hail Caesar, and it took Oceans to get me all the way back to Up in the Air.
Up in the Air is a great movie. Very, like...
Oscar contender.
For sure. I think it was nominated for Best Picture.
Wild. Do you know how many movies look like Up in the Air that don't get nominated? A gajillion.
Yeah, but very few of those movies are made by Jason Reitman.
Did Ghostbusters get nominated for Best Picture?
That's Ivan Reitman, Jason Reitman's dad.
Whatever.
Yeah, but Jason Reitman made like Up in the Air and Thank You for Smoking and Juno.
Oh, Juno.
He makes good movies.
Yeah.
He's like mainstream Wes Anderson.
Yeah. Remember when Juno came out, we were in high school, and like immediately it was like, how do we tell hipsters from non-hipsters? And it was their opinion on Juno.
Yeah. I still love that movie.
Who doesn't love Juno? I cannot imagine a sane adult who was a teenager when that movie came out being like, yeah, this movie sucks. This movie's awesome.
No, I'm sure there were many people. Like, I can imagine, like if you're a jock, you don't like Juno.
You don't think there's some cinephile jocks out there?
I'm sure there are, but I'm not gonna leave a name drop in here, but there's no way like Nick O'Keefe liked Juno.
Oh, man. He might
There's no way
have.
that dude watched that movie and was like, I got something out of this.
I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. It was great. You think Chris liked Juno?
No.
We should
I don't.
have a friends movie night where I'll sit down and watch Juno.
I don't.
Then we
I
take a
haven't seen
poll
Juno
afterwards.
in a long time.
I was in high school last I saw Juno.
Oh no, I've seen it since then for sure.
I know that.
I whip out random Juno quotes all the time without even realizing it.
I think it's just a symptom of a love for Michael Cera that we all have that we're not ready to talk about.
Oh, for sure. I know that nobody's hairstyle has ever worked as well for them as whatever Ellen Page did in Juno.
You don't think nobody's hairstyle has ever worked that well?
I mean, not nobody ever, but it was a good one.
Ethan, I want you to know I've been drinking Mickey's Wide Mouth.
Why?
You know what's crazy is because you were in India, and I know that I've never in my life seen you drink a Mickey's, but you were in India, and I was like, Ethan loves Mickey's. And so I bought it.
What makes me so happy? Because you were in India drinking worse beer than me. And I was drinking the worst beer I've ever had.
You never had a Mickey's?
No, I've had Mickey's, but bro, let me tell you, Indian beer sucks so much.
They don't just have like British beer. I guess it doesn't work the other way around.
They have this company called Kingfisher, right? And Kingfisher is literally just great value beer. They have like one that looks like Bud Light, and one that looks like Bud Light Platinum, and one that looks like Heineken, and one that looks like regular Budweiser, and one that looks like Newcastle, and they all taste different. They're just like rip-off beers. They're like a beer cover band.
Was it good?
No, it sucks. Sure, it's so bad. I drank the Kingfisher Storm a lot, which was the Bud Light Platinum version, except it was terrible and it was 8%.
Hey, it's got something going for it.
It's got something going for it. It was also, I think, like 85 rupees a bottle. And let me tell you, 71 rupees is $1. So it was like $1.05 for a bottle of Kingfisher. For a Magnum. For like a 20-ounce bottle.
Wait, it cost how much for a 20-ounce bottle?
Like $1.05.
Oh, man.
For a Magnum.
You know, my favorite flavor of beer is free, so it sounds like
my favorite. Here's the problem. There's no refrigeration of like anything in India. So I was drinking warm 8% beer.
Oh my God, they have so many premium, strong, fresh, draft, ultra blue, red, lager, Storm.
Storm, that's what I was drinking, man. Storm.
I like their logo, though. The Kingfisher's a cool bird.
Kingfisher's a cool bird.
Are Kingfishers from India? No, they can't possibly be.
I don't think so.
That's an American bird.
I don't think it is.
No, Africa, Asia, and Oceania. Oh,
they're cool birds.
Is this?
They're the divey birds.
Wait a minute. Are we back to Bacon and Eggs, an ornithological podcast?
Yeah, Kingfishers are cool birds, man.
Ornithological means study of birds, right?
I believe so. Yeah, there's the guy that got the picture of the Kingfisher exactly as it was diving into the water. It took him like 6 years. I just dropped it in the Skype chat, maybe.
Oh, ornithology is the study of birds. I don't want to brag. I'm a genius. Would you read? Oh, I've seen this photo. This is an awesome photo. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would get that framed. We need more Kingfishers in our lives.
Yeah, it's too bad I don't live where they have them, or I would go take a photo of one.
Oh, going to Africa.
Although, let me tell you, there ain't nothing harder than bird photos.
Nothing?
Nah, I have yet to get I've seen some cool birds when I've been out photographing, and I have yet to get a single bird photo that I would want to post anywhere.
Well, sounds like you got a new challenge. We're going to Africa.
Sounds like I got a new challenge. I think I need a bigger lens.
You probably do. I don't think any camera you own is going to get the shot I'm about to send you. Welcome to Ornithological Podcasting with Tyler and Ethan, where we discuss a shot you can't see.
We are talking about pictures of birds that you can't see. Oh, man, I definitely have a camera that could get that shot. I don't have a lens that could get that shot.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Unless I got very close to it.
Where can I buy... Okay, I was looking back in our Skype chat. This is a callback to people who have been listening to the show for a while. Where can I get this kiwi statue?
I would assume that you found the Etsy link when you looked it up.
I might have. Let's see if I can just paste the photo into a Google search.
What does a kingfisher sound like? Belted kingfisher sound. That's a different kingfisher. The belted kingfisher sounds like a rattlesnake.
Really?
It's like
Need more loon sounds, Ethan.
the regular kingfisher squeaks. So, okay. Not any specific particularly great bird sounds from this episode.
No, are you putting the bird sounds in?
I mean, if it was a sick bird sound, I might have.
It is from Crate and Barrel, Ethan.
If the kingfisher was like, squawk, then I probably would have.
This little tiny, like 3-ounce bird. Squawk!
Yeah, wouldn't that be so great, though? If you just, like, you looked at a tree and it just looked back at you and it was just like, squawk!
Okay, update on the kiwi. You can buy one for $32.95 or two for $65.90, which is the same price. So,
got a real deal there.
There's no deal for getting a set of two. What I love about it is that it serves no function whatsoever. I suppose you could put some books up next to it, but I don't know that it's heavy enough to hold them.
There was something I saw being sold in India. I don't remember what it was, but it was 2 for 60 rupees and 3 for 100, which is not a deal.
It's not a deal. There's have you ever watched Viva La Dirt League?
No, I don't know what that is.
There's this, they make sketch videos and they're from New Zealand and, they just like show up on my Facebook all the time. So eventually I was like, oh, these guys are really funny. So I liked their Facebook page, but I think they want me to subscribe to them on YouTube is their goal. Anyway, they have one.
They're YouTubers who want you to subscribe to them on YouTube. Imagine that.
But they upload their videos to Facebook and you can watch everything on Facebook. Anyway, they have one where they have like a deal running where it's like buy one USB stick for $20, get 2 for $50. And they're like, yeah, it's a deal for the store. We make an additional $10.
That's great. At least they're honest about it.
Well, I mean, it's like a whole sketch, and like the customer gets mad because they're like, "That's not a deal at all."
Oh, gotcha.
But it's really funny.
Speaking of you talking about tchotchkes made me think of this. The Pier 1 in Roanoke is closing, so go over there and get your tchotchkes.
Do they have kiwis?
I have no idea. I've never been in a Pier 1. I assumed that you would know what Pier 1 sold when I told you that. But I believe that they sell tchotchkes.
I believe Pier 1 sells tchotchkes. It's like a home goods for like people who can afford.
I believe it's like Crate and Barrel, but with a different name.
Yeah, for people who can afford like expensive tchotchkes.
I guarantee you that here's my thing about Crate and Barrel, okay? Here's the problem I have with Crate and Barrel. I guarantee you if you walk into a Crate and Barrel and ask them to buy either a crate or a barrel, they will get mad at you.
I bet they have crates and barrels.
I doubt it. I sincerely doubt it.
Okay, it's not like these other stores sell their title. If you go into a Macy's and ask to buy Macy, they're going to be like, wow, that's super
No, but it's like you sell decorations, but I guarantee you they don't sell decorative crates or barrels.
Well, let's find out. I'm on their website as we speak.
But it's like if you walk in, you're like, oh, can I get some cool barrels? They're going to be like, we don't, it's just a name. We don't sell barrels.
It's true. They don't sell barrels. But if you go on Crate and Barrel and search barrel, the fourth result is our kiwi bird. They do not sell barrels. You cannot buy.
The problem is it's just a kiwi bird that sits and looks sad.
You can stand it up so it looks like it's like getting something off the ground.
Can you? There's no way that stands.
You can
no way.
You can look at the listing. They have it standing on the listing.
No way that stands in real life. The only way I'd buy that kiwi bird is if it was made by a New Zealander in front of me.
Right? Somebody carving a bird right before my eyes. Okay, so barrels are out. What about crates? I searched crates. I'm going to just try crate. Oh, they do sell crates.
Do they?
They do. Very cool crates, actually. Crates I would recommend.
Pier 1 does not sell crates.
Well, I'm not on Pier 1. I'm on Crate and Barrel.
I know. I'm just letting you know. I mean, Pier 1 certainly does not sell piers.
I just want one.
Oh, wait. Oh, here's the trick. Pier 1 does not sell crates. They do sell a barrel.
Oh, so now we found our way to a Crate and Barrel.
Wine barrel utensil holder.
Okay, while you Google, I will be right back, okay?
How big is this? How big is this crate or this barrel? 5.7 inches? You could hardly hold. That's not a barrel.
Ethan, I brought you podcast baby.
What's that?
I brought you a podcast baby.
Ooh, look at that. Hi, Olivia. She can't hear me, but
yeah, hi.
She's getting so big.
He said hi? No, you can't say anything at all.
Can she talk yet? I want to tell you about this Crate and Barrel. No, this Pier 1 barrel.
I love how we're still on this.
Oh, we're still on this. For starters, it's made of mango wood, which is just not what you would ever make wine in. Ever. And it is also 5.75 inches wide.
Wait, that's tiny.
Which is not a barrel.
That's so small.
That's a cup.
That is so tiny.
Yeah, I mean, it's a utensil holder. I don't know what I expected, but like, here's my thing with barrels. Barrels are cool looking, right? It's like a rustic, it's like a shiplap way to decorate your house or whatever. But like, I feel weird having fake barrels in my house that were never used for anything, but also like proper wine barrels are like chair-sized.
And stinky.
What?
Because they had wine in them. And now they don't.
Well, they don't have wine in them anymore.
I know. That's what makes them stinky. What do you think of these crates that Crate and Barrel sells?
I hate them.
Oh, you do? I love them.
I would never put this in my home.
$28. $28.
It looks like bad IKEA furniture.
I believe that
made into a box.
It
looks like it's made of cardboard.
It might be. It might be, Ethan. Oh my God, they sell like furniture at Brayton Carroll. Brayton Carroll. Oh my gosh, who's Carroll?
Who's Brait? Who looks at their baby boy and or girl I don't know and says, your name is Brait.
I think Brait is a name that you choose.
Let's not talk about people who aren't allowed to choose their names, Tyler.
What? I don't think that's real.
We know that from our WBD co-host Mary Clay.
Oh yes,
who refuses to believe that she can just change her name at 25 years old.
I changed my name. We've had this conversation before.
Yeah,
they have a whole category here at Brayton Carroll for coffee makers.
This crate is definitely not made of cardboard because it can hold 60 pounds.
Holy crap! I have a newfound respect for this Brayton Carroll crate. Oh man, look at this.
I've never been in a Crate and Barrel in my life.
It looks like somewhere I want to go. Look at this pour over coffee maker. It's just exquisite sort of maybe not craftsmanship, but design goes into this bad boy.
We have one of those whatever they're called at my house. My mom has one.
Oh yeah.
The thing, the Chemex
I'm aware.
thing.
Yeah.
And it's just full of seashells.
I don't know what a Connex thing is.
What?
What is a Connex thing?
You just said you didn't know what it was. You knew what it was.
Yeah, because you were being extremely vague. I was kidding. Obviously, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you didn't even let me finish. The thing that is on the pour over coffee maker, like the thing with the wood around it, the glass thing.
Oh,
Chemex.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah.
Neat. And you have one
and
full of seashells?
And we have one, and you can just put a coffee filter in it and just put coffee grounds in it and make coffee. But like, it's just full of seashells.
So you could
does absolutely no one any good.
You could solve this problem by putting
yeah, I could, but like, it's not mine.
That's true. It would belong to your mother.
Like, I think it predates me in this home.
Ethan, do you know what product always costs more than I expect?
Coffee.
No, I'm a chock full of nuts guy now.
You're incorrect. If I'm going to buy cheap coffee in a big yellow can, it's going to be Cafe Bustelo.
Okay. I mean, I just want lots and lots of coffee for less.
Yeah, but it's the same price as chock full of nuts, and it's better and tastes like coffee instead of poop.
No, they all taste better than Folgers and Maxwell House, which just taste like what I imagine used cigarettes taste like.
Yeah. They taste like McCafe coffee.
Oh, God.
I watched Chris Millihan just throw back a McDonald's black coffee one time, and I was like, why are you doing that? And he goes, I just need the coffee. And I'm like, just get it in a way that doesn't suck.
You never had a McDonald's black coffee?
It's the worst.
It's awful, but it's like, you never pounded one just cuz?
No.
Oh, I've done it.
Why?
I need the coffee.
Just get it with put a sugar in it.
So I'm of my coffee, a lot of people know this. I'm either black as night or like 2 creams, 2 sugars. I love myself. When I say sugar, I mean sweet and low to the freaking max. Make this taste like a gosh darn Dr. Pepper.
All right, just going to write a note in my phone. Dr. Pepper, coffee creamer, $1 million idea, calling International Delight tomorrow. Got it.
You think I think Coffee Mate will take that deal.
I respect myself. I would not call Coffee Mate.
Oh, I'm a French vanilla Coffee Mate guy.
I'm an International Delight guy through and through.
No. International Delight is too light.
No, it's not.
Light.
First of all, International Delight makes the Cold Stone flavor. We've been over this.
Oh, yeah. You if it's not... I don't know what it is. This is like the first cup of coffee I ever had, and it's like what I'm seeking every time I drink a cup of coffee. Anyway, the product I'm always trying to buy that is way more expensive than I expect is rugs.
Rugs are expensive. That's on that the current Twitter joke list of things you need to know as an adult is rugs are expensive.
They're so expensive. Why are they?
You need see, the thing is, it needs to be high quality because you walk around on it.
Yeah, like you invest in things that go between your feet and the floor. So rugs, tires, shoes, mattress. But they're so expensive. I'm looking at this rug right now, $1,400.
Yeah, well, the thing is, and here's the thing, is like you buy a rug and you put it on the floor, and if you don't move out of your house, it's there until you die.
My issue with rugs is...
Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to pull that rug out from under all of your furniture?
I mean, I've done that a few times. We replace rugs pretty regularly in my house because we end up buying cheap rugs because I never know if I'm spending $1,200 on a rug, am I spending money on a brand name that is actually low quality, or am I spending money on a genuine quality rug? And the research required to go into this is more than I'm willing to do.
If you sold furniture and you don't know
That's the problem, is I sold furniture and I don't know this.
God, man, I was counting on you to know this thing.
If you buy your rug at a proper furniture store, not an Ashley, like a real furniture store, you're probably fine.
Yeah.
But if you get your rug from Lowe's or TJ Maxx, it's not a real rug. Now, that being said, the 2 rugs in my house are from Lowe's and TJ Maxx. So what do I know?
I don't know. I'm about to have to furnish an apartment.
I got some rugs that have probably a lot of dog pee on them.
Yeah, I'll straight up tell you I'm not taking your used rug.
I know a guy who can get you a rug for just $1,200.
$1,200 is a lot of money for a rug.
No, it's not. That's the thing.
Yeah, I know, but it's not. But I also don't have $1,200 to spend on a rug.
$1,200 to spend on something I walk around on.
I also, truth be told, I looked at the apartment I'm going to live in for about 4 minutes.
I'm so proud of you.
I have no idea what my floors are made of.
So who knows, man?
It might have carpet. I don't know.
With any sort of luck, the world would be carpeted.
I think it's hardwood.
I'm team carpet.
Yeah. Hardwood is a scam by rug salesmen. 100%. You know what smacks? Carpet.
Yeah, it's
putting your feet on soft stuff.
Soft stuff that's not cold in the cold.
Man, I had the second apartment I lived in Newport News, the one I lived in after we moved out of port, had thick, not shag, but thick carpeting, and it was dope, but it was impossible to vacuum.
Oh yeah, that's the problem, is that carpet is the most disgusting, vile creation on earth.
It was impossible. It was so nice. It was brand new when I got in there too. It was sick, but it was very thick carpeting, and it was just deluxe, man. It was
deluxe.
With the exception of the kitchen, it was everywhere, and the bathrooms.
Well, we are about wrap o'clock on this.
Oh God,
this fine episode of Bacon and Eggs.
I'm sorry, Quentin.
Of Movie Lovers Podcast. I'm excited we did a Tarantino film because, to those fans of ours who were like, man, you guys should really venture into the R rating more often. You're welcome. And to those fans of ours,
we talked about sex in young adult novels. Is exactly what we did.
We did. We didn't talk about drugs or politics. The dog eats those people. I thought that was awesome.
Yes, my apartment is made of wood.
There's no way your apartment in historic downtown was carpeted.
I don't know.
It was either concrete or
I just
wood.
didn't know. I didn't know. It wasn't a thing that reached into my mind when I was in there.
What if there were cups all over the coffee table when you were touring?
There might have been. It was a furnace. There was a person living there.
Oh, it was a joke because you can't see cups.
I mean, I know, but there could have been. Wow. Okay, I already have a Crate and Barrel ad. Cool phone.
Oh, am I going to get Crate and Barrel ads? Are they going to be like, hey, you...
I've already got one. I've got one for, actually, this stuff is pretty cool. It's a whole matching kitchen set that's all matte black.
Oh, that is pretty cool.
It's it's everything looks like cast iron, but it's a stand mixer and a coffee maker, all matches. But here's the thing that with this Crate and Barrel ad, it's one of those push through ads. It's download the Crate and Barrel app. It does not take me to sick matte black kitchen set. It takes me to iTunes Store. I hate these ads so much.
My concern for you, Ethan, is that you want matte black kitchen set, but what does your new roommate want?
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't going to just buy it. It just looks sick.
Curious about the price on matte black kitchen set.
Also, my girlfriend just texted me and said that her grandmother bought us a KitchenAid mixer. So I don't know what color it is yet, but that's going to be the new color.
I'm finding a matte black kitchen set. Oh, everything looks cast iron. Very cool.
Yeah, it looks very cool.
You can get a KitchenAid Artisan matte black stand mixer.
I'm sure you can, but I don't know what color our stand mixer is. I have no idea.
All I know is there's only three options for non knives and KitchenAid mixers, and they're just pie trays, and they're $50 for a set of 2.
Oh yeah, I mean I can't. There's no way I can afford anything from Crate and Barrel.
Is Crate and Barrel nice? I think you're thinking of Pottery Barn.
I think Crate and Barrel's nice. I think they were selling freaking cube organizers for $40.
That's true.
Like just the cube part, not the box.
Yeah.
The cube part.
All the cube organizers in my house were $40 for the whole grid.
The whole set, the whole thing.
I got them at Walmart.
There's nothing in the world that is more useful and tackier than cube organizers.
I love my cube organizers. I see no tack.
Oh, they're tacky.
You don't like my cube organizers? Okay, I get it. It's cool. I had 2 sets of them. I was going to see if you wanted, but now I don't know.
No, I mean, I will take them gladly, but they're still, it just screams like, I can't afford furniture.
But it's so true. I can't.
I know, it's like, this is replacing a piece of furniture that has a name.
Yes.
Like a Chesterfield or a, Chippendale.
Chippendale could refer to a chest of drawers, or an exotic male dancer, or a chipmunk.
Yeah. Anyway, let's wrap this piece.
You know what's weird? I feel like none of those 3 things refer to what Chippendale originally referred to. And I don't know what the answer to that is.
I'm sure it was a piece of furniture made by James Q. Chippendale.
Yeah, let's wrap this bad boy up. I've got a big board here. I think you'd be pleased with where we put Tarzan. Drive is out of date? No, I don't think so. That doesn't sound real.
So what's the rankings so far?
This is the wrong Drive.
Don't you just hate that?
Tarzan and its sequels are number 1. No, I'm kidding. Tarzan came after, well, it was on here. I don't know where it is. It made sense. It was after Coco. I think it was after 10 Things I Hate About You before Jumanji. I don't know. I think this is going to be above all of those. Did you like this better than Little Women?
No.
Frozen 2?
Yes.
Okay. That's exactly where I thought it was going to go.
Yeah.
Once.
It didn't leave me feeling warm and fuzzy the way that Little Women did. Not that that's a requirement, but just like it didn't leave me with any feeling like that.
I want to see Little Women again.
I do too. I want to see this again, though.
And if this movie was a breakfast food, I feel like it would be jarred or canned. It'd be like Spam.
Rat-flavored dog food.
I think it would be like Spam on a Pillsbury biscuit.
With somebody ashed a cigarette in it.
Ashed a cigarette in your coffee, but you can't tell because it's Folgers.
Yeah. Yeah. This was a movie, man. It was really a movie. I think this might set a record for the least we've talked about a movie.
Oh, no. Toy Story.
That's still Toy Story 2?
Yeah, Toy Story 2 and 3 were like, there was no discussion of such a film.
Yeah, it was like, let's do an intro. Now we're doing the conversation from yesterday.
Oh, those are good. Those are good times.
Yeah.
Did we review both Zombieland movies on this show? No. I haven't seen the second one.
You just have it on there twice.
Okay. I was like,
we did not review Zombieland Double Tap.
Because I haven't seen it, so that would be why.
Yeah, that would be a big why.
I had fun recording this episode of Bacon and Eggs with you.
It's been a good time. I missed it. It's been since the 14th.
Yeah, it has. Thank you, Becca Eddowes, for recording with me last week.
Yeah, thanks, Becca, for replacing me. I'm sure you did great. I tried to listen to your episode, but I was unable to because Spotify sucks.
We didn't talk much Tarzan either, if it makes you feel better.
Yeah, that's fair. Not much to talk about there anyway.
Oh, it's a great film. I love Tarzan.
It's just not.
Oh, you're missing out.
It is like one of the worst of the Disney Renaissance by a wide margin.
Oh, I just couldn't disagree more. Tarzan is so good. Oh, I loved it so much. I cried. I laughed.
I'm sure you did.
Oh,
you cry at commercials.
Subaru. Love. Their ship was a Subaru. No, actually, it was not. It was like a Dodge Dart because it crashed.
That's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
So
I want to remember what they said in the fake Subaru ad they did on Night Vale, and I can't ever remember what it was. It was just like, spiders. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Something like that.
I don't know. But let's move on to the show after the show. Let's finish this bad boy here. We can continue cutting up for an additional 15 to 25 minutes. Who knows?
Lit. All right. Well, our graphics are by Vaishon Brandon at graphite.vmb on Instagram, and our music is by Andrew Scott Bell at Andrew Scott Bell on Twitter and Instagram, and andrewscottbellmusic.com. And you should commission stuff from both those people because they're lovely, lovely human beings.
They are super lovely humans. Some of my favorite humans.
Some of my favorite humans, for sure.
Also,
you should get stuff from those people. Also, you should check out our Patreon, patreon.com/baconandeggs, and join the WB&E Discord and have lots of friends that like movies and theater and nerd stuff and J.R.R. Tolkien.
Oh my god, the newest episode of Talking About was so good. Additionally, you should listen to the other shows on the network. You could listen to That's What I'm Talking About, or you could listen to Sincerely Us, or you could listen to Following Dreams, which is about like awesome, crazy, cool stuff. Or I don't know what we're supposed to be promoting recording this week?
I don't remember. We should do. So here's a crazy thing. You'll enjoy this, Tyler. When I was in India, I heard an EDM DJ, an Indian EDM DJ, doing an EDM version of For Forever from Dear Evan Hansen.
Yes. I love this.
It was just
I love
like
everything about this.
Dear Evan Hansen club mix.
For forever.
And it was really weird.
I hope it was. I hope you liked it, and I hope it was uncomfortable and weird.
It was very strange. Although, I mean, it tracks because every time I've heard a song from Dear Evan Hansen, I'm like, that's a lot of drums, guys.
Is it?
So it makes sense. Yeah, it's a lot of drums.
I don't think I've ever noticed.
They're just like really loud in the mix on the cast album.
I've never noticed this.
I have.
Well, clearly. What a good show.
I don't know. Anyway, but somebody made an EDM version of For Forever.
Well, you should listen to Sincerely Us, a casual musical theater podcast. We have a preview for them right here.
Cool. Thanks for listening to Bacon and Eggs. I've been the Anchovies, but Tyler Carlin, and until next time, arrivederci.
And what if I'm in the movie?